I am grateful for the unknown blessings already on their way. Try that. I am grateful for the unknown blessings already on their way. I am grateful for the unknown blessings already on their way. I will not look back in anger or forward in fear. Try that. I will not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around the awareness, I am grateful for the unknown blessings already on their way. I am grateful for the unknown blessings already on their way. I will not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around the awareness. Hi, everyone. So glad you're here. Really, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Jewish Belonging Coalition Luncheon. It is the launch of the Jewish Belonging Coalition, and I'm very excited, together with my colleagues, Nate and Stacey Aviva, to welcome you to this space. Thank you for being here. You know, I was saying to Abby before from Leading Edge, you know, when we were coming into this space, you know, if the way we treat security, could you imagine, like the physical security, if we treated our emotional safety and security the same way? Could you imagine if we like put in the same level of effort and time and nuance and thoughtfulness to making sure that all of our identities are not just tolerated but celebrated in Jewish life? Like, whoa, like what that could look like. And you know, like another line that I sometimes say is like, if we look at our belonging budget line, if it's much less than our booze budget line, then we have a problem. Maybe we could get spending more towards, at least let's level it out. The same amount that we spend on booze, let's spend on belonging. And I think that would be quite the gift. And so as we come together in this space, we want to thank you for joining us. We are the Center for Jewish Belonging team from Jewish Federations of North America. And our mission is to really help Jewish life, help support organizations and leaders in creating a culture of belonging for all Jews and our loved ones. When we think about how we educate and train leaders throughout Jewish communal life on different identity groups, partner with many of the organizations that are here also who lead on supporting many different identity groups in Jewish life. And then when also how we think about convening the field, as federations like to do. We're really here to celebrate all of the amazing work taking place that many leaders have been engaging in for decades, that have brought us to a time where Jewish Federations of North America at the GA, where it's not just one thing or two things, where we're actually trying to integrate the principles of justice and equity and belonging into all the work that we do. And it's not simple work, you know, I know you all know this, and systemic change and social change. And so when I look around the room and seeing who's here, and some of you are like, I don't know if I plan on coming to this conference, but like, wait, if we're really building this collective together, the fact that you've showed up and that you're here in this space is a gift. So thank you again for joining, and I'm going to pass it over to Stacey Aviva.
Thank you so much for being with us today to create a culture of belonging. Just wanted to give us a little bit of an intention from Torah on where we are grounding much of our work. This week's portion is Ve'era, and we learn about the city of Sodom. And what's so interesting is that the Torah tells us that it was a beautiful place with well-watered gardens. But there was something interesting about the hospitality in Sodom. You see, everyone in their home had a bed for guests, but that guest had to fit exactly. If the guest was too tall, they cut off their feet. If the guest was too short, they would stretch him out. This is the same thing with belonging. Our belonging needs to not just be about inclusion and integration, coming and fitting into an already existing structure, but belonging is about co-creating and recreating those structures so that everyone can find their place and to fit the way that they need to fit. So with that, I just leave you with this. Belonging is our work to do, and everyone has a place. Instead of asking someone to contract themselves or stretch themselves out, let's take our organizational spaces and reconfigure them together so that everyone has a place of belonging. Thank you.
All right, so I'm Nate Looney. I serve as the Director of Community Safety and Belonging. And before we get into this next piece of things, kind of want to get a temperature read of the room. So I have this exercise that we do sometimes called Stand Up, Show Up. But because you all are sitting and very much enjoying your food, I don't want everybody having to push their chairs out and do a whole bunch of standing. So the way this exercise is going to work is when you hear the statement that resonates with you, raise your hand and keep it raised, okay? So the first one is, I identify as a Jew of color. I have a Jew of color, and keep your hands raised. I know it's gonna get a little heavy, so do this thing if you have to. I have a Jew of color in my family. I am a member of the LGBTQ plus community. I have a member of the LGBTQ plus community in my family. I am a person that identifies as neurodivergent. I have neurodivergent family members. English is not the first language in my household. Now, if you put your arm down because it got a little heavy, put your arm back up nice and high. And I want us to take a look around the room. Because when we're talking about belonging, this is what it is. It's all of us ensuring that we all, you can put your arms down and go back to eating. It's about ensuring that we all feel a sense of belonging when we're entering our Jewish communal spaces, that our leadership pipelines are inclusive, and that our programs reflect the communities that we seek to serve. So with that, I will pass back to Rabbi Isaiah to kick off this next portion to hear about some of the fantastic work that's happening in this room.
Mazel tov to all of us in formally declaring, even though it was true before, that there's a belonging sector of organizations, leaders that are focused in Jewish life to ensure that our communities are really cultivating a culture of belonging for all Jews and our loved ones. That's been true, but we're finally coming together to officially launch the Jewish Belonging Coalition, which is really the goal of this coalition is to be able to amplify and support the leaders and organizations who have been doing this work for many years, to come together, hopefully to share intel and our experiences, to be able to influence change within both community grassroots style as well as legacy and national umbrellas, to really think about this next generation of work that we're doing together. And so on that note, for the next 20 minutes or so, because we are landing at 1:30, we would love to be able to open the space to hear from the leaders and organizations, again, who have been doing this work for much longer than I have. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for leaders who have been putting in this time to chisel away, the organizations that have been putting in the time to chisel away to make sure that we're creating a sukkah, a tent that's wide enough for all of us. So on that note, just to name and express gratitude to the steering committee of the Jewish Belonging Coalition, representatives from organizations including 18 Doors, Sephardi American Mizrahi Initiative, the Elevate Fellowship, Footsteps, Hill International, Jewish Federations of North America, Jewish Social Justice Roundtable, Jews of Color Initiative, Jutina Eco, Gemina, Jofa, JPRO, Keshet, Leading Edge, Moving Traditions, Safety, Respect, and Equity, Schusterman Family Philanthropies, Slingshot, the Harriet and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation, and Pardes. And we are a crew that we're hopefully going to be coming together more and more, even at the conference JPRO in May, and hopefully supporting each other. But a big thank you to the leadership of the Jewish Belonging Coalition. Thank you.
So now we're going to move into the section where we're going to invite people. We've got 2 mics up at the front, and really we want to invite you to take, this is going to be your elevator pitch on steroids because of our timing. So when I say 90 seconds, think to yourself 60 seconds. And the idea is we would love for you to just come up and give us a few lines focusing on who you are and how you can contribute to this space and this work based on the organizations that you represent. So to recap, come up, share the organization that you work with and what you all are up to. 60 seconds. And go. Oh, yes. Come on up. I just want to name that I look around this room and there's a lot of familiar faces, so I know there's some serious work happening in this room.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Price. I'm not with the Federation. I'm not even sure I'm in the right room. I'm with Beit Lochem, the Israel Disabled Veterans Association. And I'm trying to start a program for IDF vets that are living abroad to get PTSD treatment and mental health care, because there's zero, there's nothing. And in Israel, they have wonderful care, physical and mental, but there's nothing outside of Israel. And the organization I belong to in LA, Los Angeles, is only really geared for fundraising. So I have no idea. I'm a retired businessman. I have no idea how to do nonprofit or start something like this. If anybody wants to give me some pointers, please feel free.
After this session, let's talk. I'm a veteran.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
I'll be super duper quick. Oh, geez, this is like really short. Can I make this tall? I guess I just have to be shorter to do this. Oh, can I take it off? That works too. Heck yeah. I'm a very animated talker, so I'm like, oh, I have something to throw now? Hi, I'm Ashley Sarby. I am one of the change makers who's here as a part of the small group cohorts. So I am a very non-traditional person to be attending this conference, and I am so incredibly privileged to be in a room full of people who don't look like me. And that makes me so happy because I'm here from different backgrounds. I am here seeking your help. So I could pitch this is who I am, but no, I want your guys' help. I'm an undergrad. I go to the University of Iowa. I have my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Graphic Design with a focus in interactive and community-driven design. If you end up with my business card, it says I'm creating the designs that connect us. I want to connect with more people, and I am hoping to graduate within the next year. I'm slated to graduate next semester, and I want to know if your organization needs a graphic designer who is community-minded and directed. Yeah, I'm already getting offers. I'm in high demand. But I would love to connect with people just as a student, and you guys have been there. You guys are all young professionals, or maybe not young professionals, maybe young at heart. But you guys have been in school before, and you know how hard it is that first year out of it. Help me. Help me help you. That's all I've got for you. Thanks.
Thank you, Nate and Rabbi Isaiah. My name is Alana Kaufman. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Jews of Color Initiative. I want to thank Rabbi Isaiah and Nate and Stacy Aviva and our other Federation leaders for creating a space where we are modeling what should be outside of this room, inside of this room. And this is the first goal, where this is not the exception, but this is the rule and the expectation, and the rest of the conference folds into this standard rather than us folding into that standard. I'm going to take 90 seconds. I've had the privilege of being on sabbatical for 10 weeks, and I went to go see a tarot card reader who asked me what kind of job I had that would make me need to take 10 weeks away from work. And so just some quick reflections in service of the coalition. For many of us last year, we were forced to lead through fear as organizational leaders, and part of our coalition means that we have the opportunity to channel fear into creating energy toward coalitions that create positive change. And the cost of leading through fear is that we don't make any progress as leaders. And so I offer that reflection as a gift I can share. As we convene people to create change through our diversity, and Nate's exercise help us recognize that, again, the majority of us represent a diverse community, whatever your entry point is into that. Partnership is essential, and partnership is not about flexing power, it's about leading through purpose. And for those of us who convene folks, we have to understand that our partnerships are reliant on us being in our purpose and in our power and not leading because of the power of others. And that's very important as a diverse coalition who are emerging into our power, and we're still in that process. We need to work in community of alignment. And when we work with people who are out of alignment with our purpose, it takes away from meeting our mission. And the most fundamental mission of this community has to be to strengthen the U.S. Jewish community. And every single day in this country, the U.S. Jewish community becomes more racially and ethnically diverse, and that will never, ever change. That chain has left the station, and we need to be in service to our young people, our families, our couples, our young adults, our multiracial families, our multi-ethnic families, and our multi-faith families. And thank God, Isaiah, Nate, Stacey, Aviva have convened us into this room to make that happen. And the last offer I would say is, when we are pushed to lead through the visions of others, it takes away from being in service to ourselves. And ourselves in this context is the diversity of this room. And so my last gift and my last ask of all of you is that we both grow, thanks to this team and to everyone in this room, a coalition that allows us to be closer to our purpose and closer to ourselves and to hold ourselves and our community accountable to that, rather than expectations that take us away from strengthening our community. Thank you.
Wow, I made the mistake of holding the mic after the good rabbi. Thank you for that. I feel like we can all just say amen and leave. But I also want to just note that the last time we had this kind of gathering, it was like at the crack of dawn, and they put us in a basement in a room full of pillars where we couldn't see each other in that hotel in Chicago. So I want to say, you know, there are steps. We've made progress. I did not introduce myself. My name is Daphne Lazar Price. I don't know where David is, but my husband's name is also David Price, so that just... What? No. Nope. Nope. He's the one that, you know, when the question is, are there Jews of color in your family? My husband is black and Jewish. So just to say that. The organization that I run is the Jewish Orthodox Feminist Alliance, which in a nutshell works to ensure that women are at the table wherever decisions are being made. Thank you. In the general world, that's a challenge. In the Orthodox world, you can double and triple down on that. So also, if you're ever looking for Orthodox representation in the work that you're doing, Orthodox engagement, you know, our mission is very gender aligned, but our work cuts across all lines of identification. So thank you.
That was actually really great segue into what I wanted to say. My name is Rachel. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a member of the staff of the Center for Jewish Philanthropy, and we have just started like a cohort of inclusion and doing different trainings, and our whole staff just had a training last week. I am a mother of a Korean adoptee, and like the woman who just spoke, like, when you don't have that person next to you, every Asian I see, I automatically identify with. So one, I'm putting out there, if anyone else knows of any Jewish Korean adoptees, I would love to connect, because I want authentic Korean Jewish babies, grandchildren. But I'm also looking, because I'm very, very concerned about my son's identity. He's 14 when he goes to college. So that was one thing I wanted to say. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, in terms of a definition of inclusion and belonging, I run the Life and Legacy program in Arizona, and we have 2 now Orthodox organizations, and that is a level of inclusion and a sense of belonging that I feel it should also be included in this, because I've been a Jewish communal professional for 26 years, and the Orthodox community has always been over here, and now I'm working to assure that they're always comfortable in the spaces so that they don't feel different. And And so I just wanted to say, when you're making a definition and we're talking about all the different, things, like, I think different levels of Judaism really need to be a sense of belonging. And those in the Orthodox community who choose Jewish community, I wanna make sure that they're included.
Thank you. Folks, we've got about 4 or 5 minutes left, and I'm seeing about 4 or 5 organizations in the chute.
I should be relatively quick. Hello, my name is Caden Kraling. I use they, them pronouns. I am from Pittsburgh, and I did not anticipate this walking in here, but I guess the place that I'm representing right now is Bet Tikva. Bet Tikva is an LGBTQ lay-led congregation that was established in 1989 in Pittsburgh. No one really knows about us. We're very cool. We have our own Siddur that we're developing and has been in development the entire time. But lay leadership in trying to establish a welcoming community is an interesting place to be in, and a place that I found myself in very quickly because I've only been in Pittsburgh for 2 years. So if you have advice, information on how to help a lay-led congregation keep thriving, I would love to hear from you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eli Winkler. My pronouns are he, him. I had the blessing from Hashem to start 4 months ago as the Director of Advancement for Eshel, which is a national organization supporting Orthodox LGBTQ people. We have 2 primary focuses, focusing on parents who have never even thought about in their Orthodox life that someone would come out, let alone their child, and they don't know how to navigate that. And we also focus on young adult and adult programming across the country. Something that's very interesting that I think is worth bringing up in this room is that many times when I came out at Yeshiva University, everyone very immediately sent me out to other denominations of Judaism, to other communities, oh, that one's queer friendly, oh, that space is for you. I grew up in a frum community. There was no reason for me to have to leave. And I applaud everyone's connection to Hashem wherever they find it. And the work of Eshel is just to make sure that no one feels like they have to leave in order to find their connection.
Hi, I'm Adam Pollack. I'm the Chief Program Officer at 18 Doors. We used to be known as Interfaith Family. And we work to empower multicultural, multi-faith families to engage in Jewish life. And we also work to build communities of belonging for those families by working with professionals, lay leaders, and clergy. And I'll just say, to reference what Alana shared, the train has left that station long ago. That is where a lot of progressive Jews are marrying people from another background or many backgrounds. And actually people in multi-faith relationships often carry other marginalized identities in the Jewish community. So when we're talking about belonging and doing training and consulting around belonging, we're not just talking about their multi-faith identities, we're talking about multiple parts of their identities. And to do that, we need to learn. And so what I'd like to ask of this group is, if you have things to teach us, please help us learn, and I will do the same with you. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Joni Udidi. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the Director of Community Programs for JQ International. For those of you who aren't, oh cool. So yeah, JQ is a LGBTQ Jewish nonprofit that services Los Angeles and beyond. Our 3 main goals are to connect our queer Jewish community, to go into our Jewish community and help educate when it comes to synagogues, camps, other nonprofits. And then our 3rd one is our mental health services. We have around at least 7, potentially 9, virtual support groups that meet monthly with different themes when it comes to being queer and Jewish, and they're available online and to anyone from anywhere as long as you have internet access. We also have a helpline for those who need extra resources or support when it comes to being queer and Jewish. And we just really want to make sure that your communities know that we're here and these services are available. And I would love to share more information when it comes to those services, because queer mental health, and especially queer Jewish mental health, is, I think, one of the most important things we should be investing in, considering our future. So yeah, come find me if you want more information, or Asher or Nate. And yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Akila Allen Silverstein, coming to you from Toronto, Canada. Thanks. And I'm representing an organization called No Silence on Race, which was founded in 2020 to address all the issues we're talking about in this room. And I want to highlight our project called Periphery. It's available at peripheryexhibit.org. I find when we do a lot of this work, we don't have necessarily the content to send people to do this work without and highlight all the stories, right? So how do we get diverse narratives and histories and stories and present them in a way that is approachable to multiple generations? And so we've done that in a 27-minute documentary called Periphery. It features 10 different Jews of color, their experience, their family's history, their story. It has poetry involved in it, music, dance, and all the different representations. We also turn that into curriculum, which is available for grade 8 to grade 12 or adult learning and education. So if you check it out at peripheryexhibit.org, come talk to me after to learn more about it, how it can be used in your space. We've been in multiple film festivals and done many screenings and facilitations and talked about this work with actual stories to back it up and different representation, which helps with anti-Semitism, as well as talking about racism in the Jewish community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carla. I use she or they pronouns. I'm the founder and executive director of Tekiah, where our mission is to create joyful Jewish connection through participatory music experiences. And we're really well known for creating experiences for families that are welcoming and create a sense of belonging for people of diverse backgrounds, and are really happy to think with anybody about how to lower barriers to participation through different marketing strategies and the spaces you're using, and also sharing our methodology. And side note, I also want to share that I'm very passionate about making Jewish communal and professional spaces welcoming to people with diverse opinions about Israel.
Hi, my name is Rachel Gildener. I'm the Executive Director of SRE Network, Safety, Respect, Equity. My colleague Shayna Wasserman is here too, if you want to wave. So SRE Network advances the values of gender-based safety, respect, and equity across the Jewish communal workplace. The one thing I want to share in gratitude is one of my teachers of belonging, Dietra Reiser, who's not in the room, but who, oh yes, she is, okay, I didn't see you, has just recently reminded us that even in moments of scarcity and crisis, the belonging of women and people of color, and we are all bound up in one another, and our thriving relies on our ability to be in this room together and in coalition. So I'm just so grateful for Rabbi Isaiah and Nathan and Stacy. Thank you for having this. And again, SRE Network is just one part of this incredible coalition. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Levin. I'm the Executive Director of Jemena, Jews Indigenous to the Middle East and North Africa. We focus primarily on education and advocacy on behalf of Sephardic and Mizrahi Jews. And we're also part of this large, somewhat organized, somewhat disorganized coalition of Sephardic Jewish organizations, synagogues in the United States. There are many of us. We are extremely diverse, and we are typically not in loops of belonging. So I'm here with Menashe, who's a dear friend and a close partner of Jemena's, and he will.
So my name is Menashe Chaimov. I'm a founder and executive director of an organization called SAMI, Sephardic American Mizrahi Initiative. It's an organization. We are Sephardic Life on College Campus. We work side by side with Hillel, with Chabad, and other Hillel provider and other campus providers. We see ourselves as a value added on college campuses. And even though we're 4 years old organization, we're already on 15 college campuses and in 6 different states. And it's not because we're so young, it's because the work we've been doing and the people who's involved been thinking about this since 2011, and they really understood that this work needed to be happening. One interesting thing that I want to say about Sephardic and Mizrahi life is that for us in particular, we don't do an interfaith work, and not because we don't believe in it, but because we do it naturally and it's so organic to us. For example, if we have Persian students putting together a karaoke in Farsi, who do you think shows up to those events? Jews who speak Farsi and those non-Jews who speak Farsi. So for us, it's very natural, and that's why I strongly believe that investing in Sephardic life today is ensures an inclusive and diverse leadership pipeline for the future of American people. So let's do it together.
So many amazing groups. Hi, I'll keep it short. I'm Lonnie Santo, CEO of Footsteps. We, thank you. I want to thank Footsteps supports and affirms individuals and families who are choosing to leave the Haredi community and integrate into broader mainstream society. The overlays on the intersectional front are religious diversity, which is not often thought about in terms of religious folks who have religious trauma and are having a hard time accessing things that feel religious, even a song at the beginning of a conference. And class, which we talked about in a prior session around economics, as well as 50% of our members are queer, have not been able to find a space in their communities. We're so grateful for the partners that are doing the work in the Orthodox community and also are there to be a safety net on the other side, and just grateful for the belonging framework that is including us here today.
I'm just going to note that I know that 90 seconds is not nearly long enough, so we have two more, and then we're going to have to wrap this section up.
Great. Hi, I'm Cheryl Cook. I'm CEO of Avodah. We train up Jews to work on poverty and social justice in this country. If you're in college, talk to me. I can help you. But I'm actually thinking about how the young Jews that I talk to and that come through our programs actually don't know about all these resources, about all of you. So I'm just thinking about, and many of them come from either, they are, many different economic classes, every kind of denomination, every, LGBTQ plus and straight and everything. And I really see like the next generation coming into being, Jews of color, like needing to know about everything here. So I'm really excited about what you're building. I want to help build it. I want to make sure that we can actually distribute this beyond this room, because I think we're all here because we really care so much about it. I'm just thinking about how do we get it out there. So I'm looking at you, Isaiah, and Nate, and Stacy. I can't wait to see what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm Stacy Aviva Flint. I'm with the Center for Jewish Belonging, and one of our dear friends could not make it today, and that is Alana Eisen from JPro. And we are working with JPro to put on this year's conference. So anyone in this room, raise your hand if you were in the JPro 2022 when we in Cleveland, yay, with the Detroit Federation Grace. Very good, thank you. Also, what about who's coming this year? May 5th through 7th? Okay, good, great, excellent. Exactly, you're in for a treat. Yes, our Center for Jewish Belonging and JPro are deeply involved in creating the conference this year, and it will be a time where we're going to be doing some hard work building these structures and these coalitions that we've all been talking about today. Something that really inspires me about the conference is, just like we said, this is not new. The leaders and professionals of the future are people who look like me and so many of our family members that we talked about. So what I want you to do is, on your table, there are going to be postcards. I'm going to pass them out as soon as I put down the mic. Use that QR code and register. Come to JPro 2025 because we need you. We need your ideas, and we also need you to nominate yourself or someone else to be an experience ambassador, so that people can feel that belonging that is all in us, so they can feel it and experience that from us at the conference. So see you at JPro 25.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abby Levine. I use she and her pronouns. I'm the executive director of the Jewish Social Justice Roundtable, which is a network of 66 Jewish organizations that engage in justice work. We've put a stake in the ground and said that part of what Jewish social justice means is doing racial inclusion, diversity, and equity work over the past 7 years, and we're excited for the next frontier of that in partnership with all of you, and thinking about what do these words mean to us as Jews? What does inclusion mean? What does diversity mean? What does belonging mean? How can we tell our stories about what that's meant for us as Jews of different racial and ethnic backgrounds? And really glad to be here. Thank you all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ilan Kramer. I work at JFNA. I sit on our team called Community and Jewish Life, where we think about expanding engagement in Jewish life across the Federation system and beyond. And one area we've done a lot of pilot work in this past year is around engaging young mixed heritage couples. And so one initiative you may have heard of is our Togethering initiative, generously made possible by the 1-8 Foundation, where we've brought mixed heritage couples in 4 pilot communities on domestic retreats to explore intentionally what it might look like for them in the lives that they're building together to infuse Jewish life. And the other is our Reset and Refresh initiative, which was started by the Jewish Federation of Greater Seattle, generously helped to expand by the National Center to Encourage Judaism, and we brought it to 4 communities this past year, Federation communities, and there are many, many more that are interested around really exploring Shabbat and what Shabbat might mean for young mixed heritage couples to infuse that into their family and into the lives they're co-building together. So excited to continue this work in local communities and with all of you, and thank you to all of the folks at the center for making this possible.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, this has been really inspiring. My name is Joan Lubar. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm the founding chair for the Center for Jewish Belonging at JFNA. And this was truly just really inspiring to hear what all of your organizations are doing. And when thinking about the needs of so many identity groups, it can really feel overwhelming. And that's why it's really important that we continue to strengthen the Jewish belonging sector and support the growth of this Jewish Belonging Coalition. As a lay leader, I also want to emphasize the power of the lay and professional partnership. This is where the change happens. It is the long-standing relationship between professionals and lay leaders that can really mobilize this field on issues facing Jewish life. So no matter what the size of your board or who's involved, the hope is that we will also convene the lay leadership in the Jewish Belonging Coalition. Yeah. To help advise, support, and partner with our professionals to carry out the work. And finally, on behalf of the Jewish Federation Center for Jewish Belonging, we want to wish each of us a big mazel tov on the official launch of this Jewish Belonging Coalition. And we're really looking forward to working with you in the year ahead. Thank you again all for being here, and thank you for all the work that you're doing in our diverse community. Enjoy the rest of the day.